The poison is never poured by an enemy standing across from you. It's slipped into your glass by the friend laughing at your side. You'd see a raised sword, you'd dodge a punch, you'd prepare for a war declared out loud. But you weren't preparing, you were relaxing. You were sharing your hopes, your embarrassments, your secret ambitions with someone you believed was on your team. And that's exactly why you're now bleeding out on the floor. The deepest cuts don't come from rivals. Rivals don't know where you're weakest. The deepest cuts come from the people you personally escorted past your own gates. Looking back, the signs feel obvious, don't they? You replay the conversations and the unease you ignored starts screaming. You see the smirk you dismissed as a joke. You hear the subtle put-downs you reframed as honesty. You realize the evidence was there, blinking in neon, but you had convinced yourself to look the other way. You wanted to believe in the goodness of people. You wanted to believe loyalty was the standard, not the exception. The old strategists of Florence would find your naivety amusing. Centuries ago, in the snake pit of Italian politics, Machiavelli documented the blueprint of human behavior. He didn't describe an ideal world, he dissected the real one. His conclusion was stark. People are primarily driven by self-interest, and they are expert at hiding it. If you walk through life assuming everyone shares your moral compass, you're navigating a battlefield blindfolded. You're essentially begging to be exploited. But what if you could learn to see? What if you could decode the subtle signals, the unconscious tells that reveal a person's capacity for betrayal before they act? You would stop being the victim and start being the observer. You could identify the wolf while it's still wearing a fleece. There are three distinct behavioral patterns, three cracks in the mask that expose a person fundamentally incapable of true loyalty. These aren't the obvious signs, like someone lying directly to your face. These are the subtle ones, the person who overshares to trap you, the person who stays silent to save themselves, and the person who performs goodness to hide their emptiness. We are about to pull back the curtain on all three. Before we dissect these archetypes, you need to understand the flaw in your own perception that keeps letting them in. It's a cognitive bias called the assumption of reciprocity. You are a person of integrity. When you give your word, you keep it. When someone confides in you, you protect that trust. Because this is your internal operating system, you project it onto everyone else. You unconsciously believe that because you wouldn't stab them in the back, they won't stab you. This is a strategic error of the highest order. Machiavelli observed that a man who always wants to act virtuously will inevitably be crushed by the many who are not virtuous. You are projecting your own reflection onto a predator, and the predator only sees prey. Most people treat trust like a feeling, a gut instinct, a vibe. I feel like I can trust him. Wrong. Trust is not a feeling, it's a risk assessment. The moment you base your security on chemistry or charisma, you are prey. The most effective manipulators in history, from charming socialites to financial fraudsters, are masters of creating good vibes. They make you feel seen and special. They use your deep-seated need for connection as the delivery system for their deception. You have to stop trusting your emotions and start trusting patterns. Emotions lie, words lie, but repetitive behavior is the one undeniable truth. Let's look at the three behavioral patterns that signal a wolf in your camp. The first betrayer archetype is what we'll call the emotional hacker. This is the person who weaponizes vulnerability. It's the most counterintuitive signal, which is why it traps the most emotionally intelligent people.
We are conditioned to believe that vulnerability equals intimacy. If someone shares their deepest pain with us, it must mean they trust us implicitly, right? So you meet someone new, a colleague, a potential partner, a new friend, and within hours or days, they unload something heavy. They tell you about their traumatic childhood, their betrayals, their deepest insecurities. Your ego gets a boost. You think, wow, they must really connect with me. This is a special bond. No, you are not special. You are a mark. This isn't intimacy, it's a transaction. In the dynamics of human psychology, this premature confession creates an immediate, invisible debt. They have given you a gift, a secret. Human nature craves reciprocity. You now feel a subconscious obligation to match their openness. So you lower your guard. You share your own fears, your own flaws, your own secrets. You think you are bonding. In reality, you are handing them a loaded gun. You are giving them ammunition. The emotional hacker often lacks personal boundaries, and a person without boundaries for themselves cannot respect yours. If they're willing to betray their own privacy to a stranger, they will eventually betray your privacy to the next person who comes along. Why would they trust you so fast? They don't know you. They do it because it's a manipulation tactic designed to fast-track connection. They want to bypass the slow, earned process of real loyalty by hacking your empathy circuit. They might be looking for a savior, or more dangerously, they are looking for leverage. Real trust is glacial. It's built through shared adversity and consistent reliability. The ancient warriors knew this. You didn't earn a place in the inner circle with a sad story. You earned it by standing firm in the shield wall for a decade. Beware anyone trying to put a relationship on fast forward. If someone shares their darkest trauma on the first meeting, they're not looking for a partner, they're looking for a hostage. They are handing you their baggage, hoping you'll feel too guilty to ever set it down. And the moment you try to establish a healthy boundary, they will use that initial vulnerability as a weapon. I opened up to you and you're being cold. I trusted you. That guilt is the cage they built in the first 5 minutes. Machiavelli would advise you to listen, observe, but reveal nothing in return. A secret shared too soon is not a sign of trust. It's a hook. Do not bite.
The second archetype is the silent spectator, the person addicted to neutrality. I don't want to get involved. I see both sides. I'm just staying out of it. On the surface, these phrases sound wise, balanced, and mature. They are the opposite. They are the words of a deserter. In The Prince, Machiavelli dedicated a chapter to explaining why neutrality is a fatal strategy. He argued that when two parties are in conflict, the neutral party ends up despised by the winner and hated by the loser. Why? Because neutrality isn't a moral high ground, it's a cowardly calculation. When someone remains neutral in the face of an injustice done to you, they are not being objective, they are hedging their bets. They are keeping their options open. Imagine you've been wronged. Someone has slandered you, stolen an idea, or disrespected you publicly. A friend witnesses this. They know you're in the right. They know the other person is toxic. But when you look to them for support, they shrug. I'm friends with both of you. I don't want to take sides. Let's be absolutely clear. Silence in the face of injustice is a choice. By refusing to condemn the disrespect, they are by default validating it. The silent spectator values their own social comfort and access to all groups more than they value you or their own principles. They want to be liked by everyone, which means they ultimately stand for nothing. If they won't defend you when you're clearly right, they will absolutely abandon you when you're vulnerable. This person is a ghost enemy. They don't strike you, they just step aside and let the blow land.
Then they show up later with sympathy, saying, "I'm so sorry that happened to you," as if they weren't standing right there doing nothing. They celebrate your wins loudly, but vanish during your struggles. A declared enemy is actually preferable. An enemy you can see, you know their position, you can prepare. The neutral friend is built on sand. You build your life on them, and when the storm comes, the foundation simply washes away. Look at your circle. Who are the people who always play devil's advocate for the person who hurt you? Who are the ones saying, well, maybe they didn't mean it, when they clearly did? They aren't offering perspective, they are dodging the discomfort of loyalty. Real loyalty is inherently uncomfortable. It costs something. It means potentially losing favor with the other side. If your friend is afraid of making an enemy, they cannot be your friend. They are just a fan, and fans are fickle. Dante, another Florentine, reserved the deepest parts of his imagined hell not for the violent, but for the angels who stood neutral during the rebellion. Why? Because the violent at least have conviction. The neutral have only self-preservation. You cannot trust someone who is comfortable with your enemies. It's a logical contradiction. If they break bread with someone trying to harm you, they are handing them the knife. Let them enjoy their neutrality in the empty space where loyalty used to be. You need allies willing to stand in the fire with you, not spectators who watch you burn while eating popcorn. The third and most dangerous archetype is the virtue signaler, the person who performs morality. I'm an empath. I hate drama. I'm just a really honest person. I'm a nice guy. That's my problem. In psychology, this is often reaction formation, a defense mechanism where someone constantly exhibits the opposite of their true, often dark impulses because they are terrified of their own shadow. The person who constantly proclaims their hatred for drama is almost always the source of it. The person who endlessly tells you how honest they are is usually preparing to deceive you. The one who calls themselves an empath is often the most emotionally manipulative person in the room. Machiavelli wrote extensively about the appearance of virtue. He advised leaders that while you don't need to possess every virtue, you absolutely must appear to have them. People judge by what they see on the surface, but the modern manipulator has studied this playbook. They know to hide their darker traits, narcissism, Machiavellianism, a cold core. They must wear the mask of a saint. They don't just do good, they perform goodness loudly. They post endlessly about their charitable acts. They lecture others on moral failings. They position themselves as the group's conscience, the protector, the mom of the friend group. This is camouflage. A genuinely good person doesn't need to announce their goodness. Goodness is quiet. Integrity is silent. It's demonstrated in action, not advertised in press releases. When someone is constantly broadcasting their moral superiority, they are selling you something. And if they're selling, you need to check what they're trying to take. This person is the most dangerous because they weaponize their fabricated morality. If you catch them in a lie, they flip the script. How can you accuse me after all I've done for you? They use their virtue as an impenetrable shield. You can't question them because they are so nice. You can't confront them because they are so spiritual. But watch for the inconsistencies. Watch the person who is saccharine sweet to you, but rude to the waiter. Watch the person who preaches loyalty, but gossips viciously about their best friend the second they leave the room. Watch the person who claims humility but dominates every conversation with their own achievements. The mask always slips. Machiavelli warned that the wolf doesn't knock and announce its intentions. The wolf puts on the sheepskin. It bleats, it grazes, it waits until the shepherd is asleep. The virtue signaler is the sheepskin. You must develop the eyes of a strategist to see through the performance. When you see someone trying too hard to convince you of their character, ask yourself, what are they distracting me from? Usually, it's a void, a lack of empathy, a deep-seated narcissism that views you as a resource, not a person. They want you to trust their words so you stop watching their hands while their hands are picking your pocket.
Machiavelli didn't write for people who wanted comfort. He wrote for people who wanted to survive and thrive. Survival demands the death of your illusions. You must be willing to look at the people you love and see them not as you wish them to be, but as they are. This is the cold read. But suspicion is not enough. You need proof. You need to test the structural integrity of your relationships before the real siege begins. Machiavelli believed in testing fortress walls before the enemy arrived. You must apply pressure to these relationships now while the stakes are low. I'm going to give you 3 specific psychological stress tests, loyalty probes, that will force these masks to fall. Test number 1, the boundary test for the emotional hacker. The emotional hacker uses vulnerability to create obligation. They want to merge with you. To test them, you must build a wall. The next time they dump a crisis on you or demand your time, you say no. Not aggressively, but firmly. I can't help with that right now. I don't have the space for this conversation today. Do not over-explain. Just state the boundary. Then, watch. A healthy person will respect the boundary. Okay, no problem, let's talk later. The manipulator will panic. The mask will crack. They will try guilt. I thought you were my friend. I have no one else. You're abandoning me. Or they'll get angry and withdraw to punish you. This reaction is your answer. It proves their vulnerability was a demand for submission. When you refused to submit, the predator showed its teeth. If a simple no destroys the relationship, it wasn't a relationship, it was a parasitic attachment. Test 2, the stance test for the silent spectator. The silent spectator wants to hide in the gray area. Drag them into the light. Create a low-stakes situation where they are forced to take a public, unambiguous side. It could be a decision at work, a preference for a restaurant, or an opinion on a minor group conflict. We need to decide. I think A, he thinks B. Where do you stand? Do not let them say both are good. Lock eyes, hold the silence. I need to know which side you support. Watch them squirm. The neutral is terrified of accountability. They'll deflect, joke, or delay. If they cannot support you in a tiny decision, they will never support you in a real crisis. For a stronger test, share an unpopular but true opinion in a group setting and see if they back you up, or if they glance around the room to see where the wind is blowing first. If they check the room before checking their own conscience, they belong to the herd, and the herd will trample you the moment you fall. Test 3, the attention test for the virtue signaler. The virtue signaler runs on validation. They need to be told they are good, kind, and special. Cut off the fuel supply. Stop praising them. Stop reacting to their virtue displays. When they talk about their charity work, just nod and say, When they post their righteous opinions, don't engage. Treat their goodness as normal, expected, boring. Narcissists cannot stand being ordinary. If you starve their ego, they will escalate. They'll do something more dramatic to get a reaction, or they'll start subtly devaluing you. You seem distant, you don't care about important issues. They will try to provoke you, because even negative attention is better than none. By starving their vanity, you force the monster to emerge. You'll see the rage behind the smile. You'll see how quickly their unconditional care turns into cold, conditional contempt. Now you have your evidence. The tests are done, the results are in. You are surrounded by people who cannot be trusted. This realization is heavy. It brings grief. You might want to explode, to confront them, to expose them publicly. Stop. Machiavelli warned against useless displays of anger. The first person you must command is yourself. Do not create a scene. Do not announce your departure. Amateurs announce their leaving. Masters simply fade away. If you confront a manipulator, you give them one last stage to manipulate you. They'll cry, gaslight, and spin the story to make you the villain. Don't give them that microphone. Use the fade. Slowly withdraw your energy. Become busy. Become unavailable. Become boring to them. The emotional hacker will find a new ear to bleed into.
The silent spectator will find a new strong figure to hide behind. The virtue signaler will find a new audience to clap for them. Let them. Your goal is not to reform them. Your goal is to secure your own perimeter. You are building something, a life, a purpose, a future. You cannot have saboteurs inside the walls. This is the cold truth of maturity. Your circle should shrink in size but exponentially increase in value. A table of 12 where 6 are holding hidden knives isn't a feast, it's an ambush. A table of 2 where loyalty is absolute is an empire. So, does this mean you trust no one? Do you become a paranoid hermit jumping at shadows? No, that's not wisdom, that's fear dressed up as philosophy. Machiavelli didn't say trust no one, he said trust yourself to see reality clearly. The ultimate purpose of this knowledge is not isolation, but precision. When you clear out the fakes, you can finally recognize and appreciate the real ones. They exist. There are still people with old-fashioned virtues. They speak little but do much. They pick a side and stay there, even when it rains. They don't advertise their honor, they simply live it. When you find these people, you protect them, you invest in them, you return their loyalty tenfold. But you can only find them after you've cleared the weeds. You've been watering dead plants. You've been giving your best energy to the hackers, the spectators, and the signalers. Stop. Reclaim your energy. Pull it back to your core. When you stop needing to be liked by everyone, you can start being respected by the few that matter. When you stop fearing betrayal, you can start building real alliances. The world is full of traps, but the most dangerous trap is your own willful blindness. Open your eyes. Look at the people around you right now. Who is holding the knife? Who is hiding in the middle? Who is wearing the mask? See them, acknowledge them, and then silently and ruthlessly remove them, because you have work to do, and you cannot climb the mountain if you're carrying dead weight.
There is one final person you must examine, the hardest one to see clearly. Look in the mirror. Are you the emotional hacker using your pain to trap others into caretaking? Are you the silent spectator, too cowardly to stand up for your friends? Are you the virtue signaler, performing goodness instead of embodying it? Machiavelli wrote that it is a double pleasure to deceive the deceiver. Do not deceive yourself. The sword of truth cuts both ways. If you demand loyalty, you must be loyal. If you want strength, you must be strong. If you want a circle of kings, you must stop acting like a courtier. Clean your own house first, then seal the gates. The world does not reward the naive, it consumes them. The world does not reward the paranoid, it ignores them. The world rewards the perceptive. Be the one who sees, be the one who knows, be the one who cannot be surprised. That is the ultimate power. Not controlling others, but seeing them so clearly that they can never control you. Walk in silence, watch the hands, and trust only what has been proven under pressure. If this video opened your eyes, understand that this is only what I can share publicly. There are deeper layers of this dynamic, aspects of human psychology that platforms restrict because they are too sharp, too revealing. The algorithms often hide the most potent truths. Those deeper insights are available for those who want to go further. If you're still here, you're not like the casual viewers. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Winds of Thought for more.